James Fox has alerted us to an urgent and critical situation. His career is under threat. He dropped a video on Twitter just hours ago going over his current situation. Let's take a listen and then talk about it. Is that okay with you, muchacho?
Hello, everybody. Sitting in my favorite spot. I hike up to this point pretty much daily. Think about my work and edits that I'm working on, how I'm putting the film together. But I'm writing this post because I've been holding something in for the last 6 months, dealing with career-related issues, the likes of which I've never experienced in my entire life. So challenging, it feels like someone's trying to extinguish my career. It's pretty terrifying. I'll probably be going public with it later this week. For legal reasons, I can't discuss it right now, but I wanted to give you all a heads up and thank you for all your support. It means the world to me.
Before we dive into James Fox's critical situation and what he just stated in his video that he dropped on Twitter, I want to share with you 2 comments that he made on Twitter today. Here is where he dropped the video, and he states, "I wanted to share a rather devastating career issue I've been dealing with for the last 8 months. I can't go into too much detail at this moment, but more will come out soon. Your support means the world to me." And then a little bit later, he followed up with, "We'll make a full announcement as soon as I'm able, but I can say that if I did what's being done to me, I'd go straight to jail. Unbelievable what these execs can get away with." And then underneath James Fox's Twitter video, Jimmy Church chimes in and he wrote, "I just spoke with James a few minutes ago. The situation he refers to really pisses me off. He's a great guy, a very close friend. And to see somebody that I care for so much go through this BS affects me and affects us all. His work is too important for our community and the world." Okay, so who is the culprit that is threatening James Fox's career? Obviously, we cannot know definitively, and while there are hints here and there, we can only ultimately speculate. But what stands out to me, looking at James Fox's subsequent tweet, is he referenced execs, as in executives. That sounds film industry oriented to me. And then Jimmy Church's tweet, he stated, "And to see somebody that I care for so much go through this BS affects me and affects us all." Go through this BS, from my interpretation, supports the idea that it's film industry oriented. Go through BS, put through the ringer, if you will, sounds like it would apply to executives within some kind of film industry organization. So from these tweets, I don't think whoever is giving James Fox serious issues is originating from the national security apparatus. Could the national security apparatus be working through these executives? Potentially, yeah, that's possible. But that's as much as I can speculate as to who's behind it, because he said that he can't speak about it now, but that he will say more later in the week. In his tweet, that is James Fox's tweet, he referenced something career-oriented that he's been dealing with for the past 8 months. But in the actual Twitter video, he cited 6 months. I don't know if there's a connection or not with what he's dealing with and his upcoming documentary. But it's worth noting that around 6 months ago, he talked about his experiences working on his next documentary. And for those that don't know, his next documentary is about where the best UFO evidence, including alleged retrieval of craft, is stored, and who has the authority to release it to the public. In that light, let's revisit some clips where he spoke about his experiences working on his next film. The following clip is from the show Breaking Point and was published on May 2nd, about 6 months ago.
However, what I'm doing and what many others are doing, we're meeting with the intel folks on the inside that have already gone to testify to AARO, which is run by Sean Kirkpatrick. That's the new UAP task force. And they're going on camera with people like myself. And I've gotten a number of them on camera already. And they're disclosing not the classified parts, but what they've disclosed basically behind closed doors. In other words, I'm providing the names of the programs. I'm providing the names of the individuals involved with the programs, the locations of these programs. And in fact, if you get me the classifications, I can walk you in the door. So the clearances. So if the government is not going to release it, we're going to release this to the public so they'll know that this is going on. So we're just trying to force the government hands.
I can't even begin to tell you how huge that is, what James Fox conveyed. And I'm going to attempt to do a little bit of a translation because I've actually covered this before. And without enough contextual preparation, it can be a little confusing. So allow me to do a little bit of a translation so you have a clear understanding of what he's saying about what he has accomplished in preparing to publish his next documentary. He said him and others, and the fact that he said other people are doing the same thing is really interesting, but him and others are meeting with the intel folks on the inside that have already gone to testify to AARO. He explicitly said he's gotten a number of people on camera. And then this is the part that's a little confusing, and I'm going to explain it to you. When he said that we got not the classified parts, but what they disclosed behind closed doors, what he means is that when these witnesses were going on camera with James Fox, they were not giving him the explicit classified details, but what they were giving him is explaining to James Fox on camera what they told people at AARO. So it would be like this. James Fox would be interviewing firsthand witnesses, and those witnesses would be like, okay, this is what I told the AARO people. I told them the names of the programs. I told them the individuals involved in those programs with the locations of these programs. And I also told the people at AARO that if you give me the correct clearances, I can walk you through the door of these installations, right? Now, why did James Fox get these witnesses? And I think some of them are definitely firsthand witnesses at the very minimum. Why did he get these people on camera to say these things? Well, he reveals that further in that clip where he says in that clip, if the government is not going to release this, we're going to release it to the public so that the public knows what's going on. He goes on to say, we're trying to force the hand of the government. So what I think he's stating here is that if the government doesn't come clean about the level of fidelity that they possess regarding the true reality of UFOs, non-human intelligence, if the government doesn't fulfill its obligation with being forthright with the public and desisting from their lies about this topic, then what I'm going to do, James Fox, is I'm going to release these video recordings that I've collected of the witnesses who convey that they've already told people at AARO exactly what the name of these programs are, the individuals involved, their names, the program names, the location of these programs, and I told the people at AARO as well that if you get me the clearances that you need, I can walk you through the door. So it's basically what James Fox is saying, if the government is not going to, if AARO is not going to fulfill its obligation to properly investigate the allegations of a cover-up, the allegations of crash retrieval programs and various UFO programs, then we're going to just lay it all out to the public that they have failed to properly investigate, even though firsthand witnesses have given them all the information they necessitated. This upcoming documentary by James Fox, to put it simply, in my opinion and in my anticipation, it's going to be lit. On April 4th, 2023, I hopped on Nathan Williams' podcast, the Amazing People podcast, and we both interviewed James Fox. And I asked James Fox in the following clip a very explicit question regarding the nature of the people that he put on camera and interviewed. And I think what he's going to reveal is extremely important regarding the quality of the people that are going to be in his upcoming documentary.
And again, this is what they shared with me was
are
that
are they currently employed? The intelligence folks that were speaking?
Some of them were, yes. Okay. And some of them were retired, but no, a lot of them were still employed.
Wow.
Don't take it from me. And I have this on camera just recently. Don't take it from me. Don't take my testimony, but I'm here to tell you, this is the name of the program. This is the location of the program. These are the names of the individuals involved with the programs. And if you give me the credentials or the security clearance, I'll walk you into the labs. And that's happening right now in Washington, D.C. And
Former intelligence officer David Grusch of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency and the National Reconnaissance Office. Former Army Colonel and current aerospace executive Carl E. Nell, and current government employee Jonathan Gray of the National Air and Space Intelligence Center are just the beginning. And one more thing, muchacho. Don't forget former intelligence officers and or government scientists Lou Elizondo, Colm Kelleher, Gary Nolan, James Lukatsky, Jay Stratton, and Eric Davis. And I think Eric Davis technically continues to be an employed scientist for the U.S. government. And I'm sure the rest of them, or many of them, still helps the government out because they still have clearances. But anyways, all those people I just cited have already come forward and admitted that the U.S. government has recovered non-human craft. Not totally sure if Jay Stratton has done that, but the rest have. And they, too, were just the beginning. Comprende? Since we're on the topic of whistleblowers, witnesses, I want to share with you a tweet that Vinnie Adams dropped showing a slide from a presentation that Chris Mellon was giving, maybe even today, at the ECHO conference in Paris, France. Vinnie Adams states, at Chris Mellon shared brief details of 3 new sources regarding the recovery of UAP materials. And then let's go into the slide. Does America have recovered UAP materials? Multiple government sources indicate yes. Source number 1 describes management, control, structure, and authorities. Identified U.S. Air Force gatekeeper. Source number 2, redacted source claims to have assessed technical data on a recovered UAP and to be knowledgeable of a U.S. exploitation program. Claims another country has recovered a device as well. Source number 3, claims to have subordinates working on reverse engineering. Believes the U.S. tracks UAP as they enter the atmosphere. Right now is the perfect time to remind you of what Lou Elizondo said on Twitter on October 13th, 2023. Howdy, folks. Just a quick update for you to consider. Please know that ongoing efforts are underway that will reveal themselves by early to mid-2024. At the risk of haters trying to sabotage our efforts, I can't be precise at this time. But if you have learned anything over the last 5 years, I never make empty promises. Trust me, this will be worth it. Special thanks to Chris Mellon and Jay Stratton. So, if I were you, I would keep my eyes peeled for early to mid 2024. And I would keep within my cranium the proposition that first-hand whistleblowers will be going public discussing crash retrieval program, UFO cover-up, recovered UAP, and potentially recovered biologics. And I just want to say one thing, because I'm sure I'm going to get some comment in the comment section. I don't know exactly what all the intelligence officers /and/or scientists that I cited are doing. Maybe some of them are still working for the government or contractors for the government. I don't know. I don't have a perfect knowledge of what exactly they're up to these days. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. I think 2023 has a lot of surprises still coming, and 2024 certainly does as well. If I could boil this down to one word, it would be lit. I know that James Fox is going through some very difficult times right now, and we'll learn more about what that entails later in the week when he discusses the details. But suffice to say, I'm about to embark in playing the disclosure flute with the intention of giving James Fox strength and focus to continue his mission to be the very best disclosure warrior that he can be. Please do not forget to subscribe. If you'd like to support the channel, you can check out my merch shop where I sell t-shirts. You become a patron. You can become a YouTube member. You can give me a one-time donation. All of those potentialities can be accessed in the description box below, or you can just slap a like on this bad boy, and I'll appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Special thanks to all patrons, YouTube members, those that have bought merch, those that have given me a one-time donation. I couldn't do without you. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode.